Welcome back to the FFR Trading Market Minute. This is the first Market Minute for the new year, 2025. And just to kind of review, last year I had a set kind of an end-of-year target at 600 on the S&P, which we achieved. And I said we'd reach 600 before we really started seeing any significant selling coming in. Well, you can see right at 600, big institutional red candle. All right, market got oversold here. We rallied right back into the 20-period moving average here. And again, big gap down, more institutional selling here. Hit our downside target, which was a gap fill back here. Got just about oversold here before that next rally into the 20-period moving average here. And you can see we're selling off again back kind of down into this support area here. So that's kind of the activity that's happened, since we last recorded the Market Minute in last year. What do I think is happening now? Well, one of the things I think we need to kind of pay attention to, these are not really great probability setups, but notice we've got a little head and shoulders pattern that has formed here. So we've got a left shoulder here, the head up here, and then the right shoulder that formed here. All right, now the neckline on this thing is really not conducive to a great head and shoulders pattern. But we do have a peak here, a higher peak, and a lower high in terms of peak here. And that is, notable because you'll see that kind of a topping pattern. It is a measured move for the target, so you can take the top of the head down to the neckline here, and you project that down, right? And that would put the S&P all the way down. This is around 556, 557. I'll just mark that off here for future reference in case that does come into play here, right? But what would have to happen is we'd have to break the neckline. Typically, they'll come down. They'd have to break that neckline. They would probably retrace, retest it, right? And then we'd get some type of drop off and follow through, right? Maybe down to the target there. All right, so that is something that we want to pay attention to. We have talked about the fact that we do have to be cautious about the markets up in here because of the valuations that we've seen. A lot of the data that we've looked at, from the Buffett indicator to the Hindenburg-Omen to the Shiller PE ratio, right? All these things telling us the market is overvalued up here, right? So I do think technology, AI, robotics, the quantum computing, even throw in the blockchain, is going to continue to drive the markets overall higher over time, but we are due for some corrective action. So we'll see. We still have this last target here, this gap to fill back here. All right. If that does, we would break the neckline at that point. So we'll have to see what that looks like if that does come into play. So far, this kind of support overall has been holding here, and we'll see, what we get. Now, the market closed yesterday. Now, today's Wednesday. I'm doing this a day early because the market will be closed tomorrow in observance of President Carter's passing. But the RSI has closed below its moving average here, and we did take that low out today, even though it did come down into support. So we'll see if this, and we are below the moving average here, so we'll see if this does get some more follow through to the downside and maybe fills that last gap back here before we get another bounce. So to the upside, we have the resistance here. You've got your moving average resistance, which obviously has been moving lower as the price has been drifting lower here as well. But we are in a kind of a large consolidation area here. So we had the high here, the low here, and we've been kind of inside that range. As that kind of starts to maybe squeeze up a little bit, right, we should get a break one way or the other. That might come in the next Fed meeting. What does the Fed do? So we'll keep an eye on that. So a lot of things to look at here in the new year, but just again, protect the long side. Doesn't mean you can't get long. A lot of these stocks, I know one of our traders, Ian Cooper, put out an alert on NVIDIA. So it doesn't mean you can't make money to the upside, but you do have to protect your downside out here. Economic data set to be released. Tuesday we'll have the PPI, or Producer Price Index, followed by Wednesday's CPI, a Consumer Price Index, and Thursday's retail sales. Hope you have a great rest of the trading week. We'll see you back next week in the FFR Trading Market Minute.